I'm Chris Jackimick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deploy to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important, but I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like, you look at everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text, actually, from my stepmom. I was like, I need you to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates. And she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day. 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broken through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought, we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media, and I see this, what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. It was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I first heard about Mission 22 just by like surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I have not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired, a little over a year ago, I set forth, as like, let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. Is like, I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. physically I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission and is relentless about it. Every day he pushes it. From the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life, it was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just like, okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas where it takes you away from the stressors and the challenges of the world for a little bit. And you can just appreciate the beauty that is out there and be in the moment. And then it got serious because the Air Force enrolled me in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program and it got transformed into Lo and Behold training. If I do this well, maybe I can go represent the Air Force. Maybe my grief and everything in my entire story can come to fruition because I can put the energy into something positive. If I made the team, I'd just be overwhelmed with emotion. I suffered a lot of my trauma because of my military service. But at the end, it's like, I gotta be grateful that I'm allowed to compete in this because there are others who didn't make it home or lost the war at home that's what it's about.
Please welcome our very own Director of the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, Colonel Rich Obert. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, warriors and athletes. Today we're going to announce the 2021 Air Force Team for Warrior Games. The selection was difficult as there were many hardworking and deserving individuals, and the work and dedication was apparent by all. I know the suspense is killing you, so I'll turn it back over to Marcia. Good luck to each of you. Back to you, Marcia.
All right, thank you, sir.
Starting us out from Air Education and Training Command, Major Daniel, Lieutenant Dan Cariña.
Yes, yes, yes. Air Combat Command, out of Texas, Master Sergeant Nicole Nikki Favuza.
From Valdosta, Georgia, Technical Sergeant retired Antonio Del Vecchio.
From East Liberty, Ohio, Airman retired Pete Murphy.
Technical Sergeant retired Margie Hinkle.
And coming up next, former pole vaulter, that is very similar to Blaze Velarde, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, Master Sergeant retired Chris Jack Jackamek.
Warrior Games competitor back on the team, Staff Sergeant retired Joseph Alex Pate.
Whew.
What? He did
All right.
big things. Back in the day, he's gonna do big things. Coming to you from St. Henry.
Wow. We look at Mission 22 and we see all the shirts, we see all the flags out there. I don't think enough of the people understand how big the programs actually are and how that is actually in there. And like, I'm a benefactor from the donations of these private donors that are there to allow me to live life, to improve life for not only myself, but for friends, for fellow veterans, for my children, for my girlfriend, for my family, is to be that, to say, you know what? We can keep going at the end of the day. We can keep going no matter how hard it gets. No matter how difficult life becomes, we can keep going.
We have this value in the Air Force, this belief, a wingman concept. We're going to take care of each other. We've got each other. And it gives us hope, right? And so if you have been knocked down, I say this a lot, by the baseball bat of life, right? You're on the ground. If you know that someone's got you, it's got your six, no matter what, that's going to help you get back up again. And that's part of Mission 22, I think, for him. That connection, that human connection, that's what's going to save us. Yeah, that's what saved him. He can be a light in darkness. No matter how dark that spiral is, to know that someone got back up again and navigated their way out, that they can get through it too, that they are not alone. Not for one moment of one day. That's what he could be. He could be a beacon of light.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After a long hibernation, we took the race season off, the real race season off, as you know. We are back at it. Tonight is a test and tune race. Let the drivers come out, make sure all of our broadcast equipment worked okay. We're back. Clayton is back with me. Clayton, welcome back to the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, man. Fun to be back here in the booth with you. Hopefully we can have another incredible season. Pretty high car count. Should make for some great racing.
Yeah, we got a new sponsor. The Dirt Track Bank came on board. Division of Malvern Bank. Jay Burdick and crew at the Dirt Track Bank have been super supportive of what we got going. As always, you'll ride along with us as we talk to the drivers. We're getting ready to pull them off the track. Let's do that right now. All drivers, clear the track, please. All drivers, clear the track.
There.
All right, fellas, thanks for coming out. This is a test and tune, non-points race. As you know, we got a new sponsor, the Dirt Track Bank. If you guys ever get the opportunity, man, drop those folks a note. They stepped up big time. You'll see that throughout the season. Got a $1,000 dash for cash, $450 up for Quick Time Awards this year. So if you have the opportunity, man, for a well-known bank and supporter of the real race community, come on board and sponsor you guys to race on the computer. That Brandon Templeton will tell you, the owner Jay Burdick, who stepped up, has no idea about computers, and he came on board 100%. So. Yeah, man, welcome back. We have the only rule change that we have from last year. The initial start is going to be on green. After that, starts are on the leader. Whoever is the leader, and we'll remind you throughout the night, you get to pick inside or outside. You have to make that decision before the one to go. So we'll get on you a little bit tonight to pick inside, outside, whatever. So, yeah, without further ado, I will take questions, comments, and concerns before we get into qualifying. Drivers, any questions, comments, or concerns? With that, we'll get into qualifying. Thank you all for coming out. It's going to be a great 15-week season with the 16th week being the Dash for Cash, and we'll get to it. Good luck. All right, Clayton, we just ended practice. We're getting ready to get into qualifying, I think. There we go. What are you looking for tonight here at Lernerville? As we know, that big drop-off gets some folks. Who's the car to look out for tonight as we get back to it?
Oh man, just looking at the leaderboard for practice, Brandon Templeton about half a tenth over the field. I see Brandon rolling in the momentum that he had last year in the modified division. Really tonight, for me, I think it's, there was, ever since we've been away, driving real race cars and expanding families and such, we had a huge iRacing dirt update. The track surface is different. There's tire wear now. If you go run the top, you're going to have a faster lap. If you go run the top for a long time, you're going to burn that right rear off. I myself have seen these last few months that there is a bottom to middle at Lernerville. It's not as top dominant as it always has been. So I think we'll get some very good two wide racing. Still think the top is going to be the place to go. But at the end of the day, like I said, you burn that right rear tire off and it's only backwards from there. So we're going to have to see some tire conservation. We know Lernerville gets tight off the corners. The backstretch not having a wall. We've seen people bump and get pushed off there. I just think Brandon Templeton right now, I mean, he's sitting on the pole right now, almost the 10th, sitting on pole. I think that 31 is going to be hard to beat tonight. How about yourself?
Yeah, so I got to go with my teammate, longtime teammate, Brandon Templeton. He's got dirt track bank on the side of that car. So I think Templeton's going to be tough. However, Anthony Morano in that 32 machine has, man, I've watched him come around. We always give a shout out. Got the in-car camera right now. Sherry on board, his wife, as always in the 32 machine. You got to watch out for Anthony Morano in that 32 machine, I think. So we'll see how it plays out. Brandon Templeton at the top of the board, 15.551. Joseph Grandy, Anthony Morano, Reed Sanders, Donald Ingram. Fill out your top 5 in qualifying. We still have some cars out on the track. Follow along with the lucky 777. That is Jesse Ingram, driver out of Georgia, out on track. Currently 11th, quick, 15.392. In the 777, Justin Sick just got signed back up. 7th, quick for the 15 machine, driver out of New York, actually. Jordan LaFawn back with us. You know, I'm glad Jordan's back, but I'll be really glad when Grandma Pete comes back in and adds to the show, as Grandma always participates in the broadcast. So Jordan, man, I love you, but Grandma Pete is what keeps me coming back out here. The 11 car, Jordan LaFawn out of Indiana, 15.259. Third quick for the 11 car, Chris Cox, the 515 driver out of Des Moines, Iowa. Looks like he timed out. We're getting ready to go heat racing. All drivers to the grid. All drivers to the grid, please. All right, drivers again. Initial start is on the green flag. Any start after that will be on the leader. Leader chooses inside or outside. Congratulations to the 31 car, the dirt track bank driver out of Corning, Iowa, Brandon Templeton. Got 8 laps to get it done. Top 4 advancing to the feature. Everyone else going to consolation race. Race hard, race clean. Good luck. Brandon Templeton, Jordan LaFawn on the front row. Reed Sanders, Anthony Marfulio in row number 2. Kurt Schatzer, Jesse Ingram in 3. Jake Henry, Clay Christopherson in 4. Jesse Ingram and Paul Thompson round out your field of 10 drivers. So a little change to the start there, Clayton. What do you think about driver choosing inside, outside, and initial start on green and everything else on the leader?
I love it. I like the getting to choose, you know, being up front, being the leader when a caution comes out, when the race starts. There needs to be a slight advantage there, and the leader having the choice is perfect. You don't want to be stuck on the bottom if it's a very high dominant track. You don't want to be stuck up top. And Brandon getting that choice and Heat 2 and all that, having that choice is very good. I love the green flag original start. The green flag race start means we're going to have everybody kind of ready to go. You know, there's not really jumping, but there's nobody, you know, lacking back. Everybody's going to pile into turn 1 really tight. We're going to have a good race off of 2 here. Come to the green.
Here we go, coming to the green flag. Green flag is out. We are underway. Lap number 1 of our 23-24 season. A welcome back. Jordan LaFawn on the high side in the 11 car goes to the lead. Brandon Templeton, your pole sitter, he falls on the inside. He's going to fall back to about P3, although he's battling off the bottom of turn number 4. Templeton holding that bottom as Jordan LaFawn is getting away from the crowd. Anthony Marfulio up to P number 3. Anthony Marvulio out of the East Coast, New Hampshire. Drives a midget, I believe, in real life. Jesse Ingram, the car in the 777, is in the fourth and final transfer position. The 51 car of Clay Christopherson wants that position, wants his ticket to the big show without going through the consolation races. We're on board with the 51 car. That is Clay Christopherson. You can see the 777 in front. That's the green car. He gets by Anthony Marvulio. Those two go side by side. Up front, Jordan LaFawn pulling away from the field. Brandon Templeton, P2. Jesse Ingram. Now Anthony Marvulio is going to try to do a little bit of a slide job there. Slides up in front of the 777. Jesse Ingram with the crossover. He will hold on to P number 3. Reed Sanders in that 4 car. He's up to P6.
Yeah, 3rd through 8th is nose to tail right now, battling for those last 2 transfer spots. We see Marvulio and Ingram kind of sliding each other back and forth. That's going to slow them down and allow 5th through 8th to kind of stay in line. Those two have to be careful. We're 2 to go right there at the stripe. Those two have to be careful. Here comes the 51 of Christopherson on the outside. Let's see if he can make something work and sneak into the feature.
Yeah, you don't want to slow down with, we got quality drivers behind them. Kurt Schatzer in the 18 car. Another dirt track bank entry is in P7. Jordan LaFawn still at the front of the field. Don't look now, he's got company. Brandon Templeton in that 31 car. Tried to make it work on the bottom, could not do so. LaFawn, Templeton, Ingram, Marvulio moving on to the feature race. Everyone else heading to a consolation race of sorts. Heat 2 to the grid. Heat 2 to the grid, please. Negative. All right, drivers, welcome to heat number 2. Once again, initial start is on green. Any restart will be on the leader. Leader gets to pick inside or outside. Got 8 laps to get it done. Top 4 heading to the feature. Everyone else going to a consolation race. Race hard, race clean. Good luck. Joseph Grandy, Anthony Morano. You said it didn't come through?
I heard you loud and clear.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Joseph Grandy, Anthony Morano on the front row. Donald Ingram, Justin Sick in row 2. Billy Roberts, Randall Dixon in 3. Brian Dickens, Kelly Wheeler in 4. Michael Vitale and Chris Cox round out your field of 10 drivers. Joseph Grandy on that front row, as always. Anthony Morano not able to run with us a whole bunch due to his work schedule. But we always go on board that 32 car as he has the most important person in his life on that ride. There he is. Sherry is on board the 32 machine. Sherry, if you're watching, welcome back, ma'am. It's been a long time, but glad you're with us. 518 of Joseph Grandy will bring us to the green flag. Watch that 15 car and the 99 Billy Roberts, Gears Unlimited driver out of Independence, Missouri. They may have something for those front runners. We'll see how this plays out. Pace truck has exited the field. We're getting ready to go green. A 518 Joseph Grandy will bring us to the green flag. Green flag is out. We are underway. 518 down low, makes a little bit of contact with the 32. Anthony Morano on the high side. The 10 car, that's Donald Ingram. He piles in on the bottom side. We're going to go nose to tail. 1, 2, 3. The 15 car. Justin Sick pulled up not to make contact. Goes off the top side. Donald Ingram in P3. Billy Roberts has moved the 99 machine up to P4 in the final transfer position. Michael Vitale in the 213. As I always like to thank Michael for his service to our country in the United States Air Force. Michael, thank you very much, sir. is in P5, so he's going to battle out his teammate, Billy Roberts. Both of those Gears Unlimited drivers are going to give it a go here. Up front, Joseph Grandy, nose to tail. Anthony Morano, P2. Donald Ingram now under attack from Billy Roberts in that 99 machine.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised with the 213 of Michael Vitale. I've seen him run here quite a bit. Oh, we've got a spin out of 4. Caution's going to come out.
Caution is out, our first caution of the year. Yeah, now if the driver could remember how to... All right, I guess we're not going to look at cautions since I can't remember. Car gets around, and the 011 just kind of gets into them, so they kind of pile up. So that's when the 57-year-old age comes into play here. I can't remember how to do the replays, but I'll figure that out here shortly. Again, if you're new to Got Your Six Racing Network, welcome aboard. You won't hear a bunch of subscribe to us and bells and whistles going off. We try to replicate any Friday night at any given racetrack across America, so we don't have a bunch of crazy visual effects. We have really good racing and really good drivers. So thank you all for tuning in. Everything we do is for support of those veterans out there suffering. So yeah, greatly appreciate everyone's support. So Joseph Grandy will take the outside in the 518. New rule in Friday Night Lights this year. Leader gets to pick which lane they want. We're on lap 6 of 8. Grandy will take the outside with the 32 car. That is Anthony Morano on his inside. I didn't know I set this up. Yeah, I didn't know I set this up single file. My bad. We are back under green, 518 of Joseph Grandy with a great restart. Morano P2, Donald Inger, Billy Roberts in the 99 in P number 4. Roberts now with Michael Vitale in tow. 213 taking a peek on the inside of that 99. The 10 car didn't get a real good run off the bottom of turn 2. The 99 and the 213 are going to battle out. They want that 4th and final transfer position. Roberts on the high side, Michael Vitale on the bottom. Up front, Joseph Grandy has his hands full with the 32. Here comes Anthony Morano. Morano throws it down low, coming off of turn number 4. It will be Morano at the line. What a great race. Three minutes of warm-up. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have 3 minutes of warm-up, so we will be right back.
Biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name is Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. This year's been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turning into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready to get to it. We got a 25 lap feature, or 20 laps, can't remember which, but we're about to find out. So we'll call the grid to the call the drivers to the grid, I should have said. My apologies. If I can get my software to work. All drivers to the grid. All drivers to the grid, please. All right, fellas, welcome to our first feature of the year. Nothing changes from your heat races. Leader will have the choice inside, outside. Please make that declaration before you get the one to go. Again, thank you guys very much for everybody for coming out for this test and tune. We'll get it dialed in. Next week, we start our journey for the $1,000 dash for cash that will occur in week 16. So thanks for coming out, and let's get to it. Jordan LaFawn, Anthony Morano on the front row. Brandon Templeton, Joseph Grandy in row 2. Jesse Ingram, Billy Roberts in 3. Anthony Marfulio, Donald Ingram in 4. Clay Christopherson, Michael Vitale in row number 5. Reed Sanders, Justin Sick in row number 6. Kurt Schatzer, Kelly Wheeler in 7. Jake Henry, Chris Cox in 8. James Ingram, Randall Dixon in number 9. Paul Thompson and Brian Dickens round out your field of 20 drivers. All right, as always, who you got?
I think I'm going to go second row outside. I think Joseph Grandy is going to find something here. He was fast in the warm-up. Obviously, he's up front because he qualified good, ran a good heat race. Looks kind of consistent right now. I'm going to go with the 518 of Joseph Grandy. How about you?
Yeah, I got to go with Brandon Templeton, my teammate in that 31 dirt track bank machine. He actually ran into Jay Burdick, the CEO of Malvern Bank and the Dirt Track Bank in Corning, Iowa, at a dirt track race. The bank owns a couple of late models, my apologies. And he thanked Jay in person. I got to go with my teammate, Brandon Templeton, on the inside of row number 2. As we come to the green flag, Jordan LaFawn on the inside. He's got that 32 car to his outside. We do have 25 laps. The 777 jumps to the inside of Brandon Templeton. Into the grass he goes. He's able to save it. Brandon Templeton rolls out in P number 4. We got a mess behind the 777. 777 of Jesse Ingram, driver out of Georgia, went in the grass on the first lap. Billy Roberts back there in P number 6. We're 3 wide. Let's see how this works out. We're 3 by 3 in positions, about 6 back to 9th or so. Anthony Morano in the 32 car. He takes the lead over from the 11 car of help me out, Jordan LaFawn. Brandon Templeton running that bottom side. Well, what do you think, Clayton, so far?
Oh, Templeton, like I mentioned earlier with that new dirt update, Templeton's making the bottom work. These guys are single file, stacking up because of each other's momentum. Templeton is just catfishing along the bottom right now, and he's showing why that's the place to be. Fastest on track, got the best lap overall. And we had a little bit of contact there off of 4. Sorry for the pause there, but we're going to stay rolling here. Everybody saved it. But yeah, Templeton is on the bottom, making time, big time. And he snuck by the whole pack, and here he is leading.
And we go by the gearbox. You see that 11 car of Jordan LaFawn. LaFawn sees Templeton working that bottom side. He's going to give it a go. LaFawn to the point. The driver out of Indiana. Caution is out. Looks like Anthony Marfulio and
take a look at what happened here.
They are 3 wide in turn number 4. Oh. Looks like incidental. I don't know.
Yeah.
Looks like the. I'll let you make the call. I'm gonna broadcast. I don't get paid those big dollars. It's like the 11 and the 99 just make contact. Comes down on the 238. Around goes Anthony Marfulio, and he takes a ride. Brandon Templeton takes back over the lead in that 31 machine. He's got Jordan LaFawn in P2, Anthony Morano, Joseph Grandy. So I find it kind of comforting. We don't have a lot of new drivers, Clayton, but we got the same suspects. Templeton selects the bottom. That is our new rule. The leader gets to choose. I'm surprised slightly at Templeton selecting that bottom side. Clayton, I know you're busy doing your admin thing.
Oh, you're good. I see it. I think it's on leader now. I think he's going to get a jump. He's going to be up in front of LaFawn by the time they come out of 2. And Templeton, this might be his time to get to the top and kind of just block LaFawn's momentum. Make LaFawn go down there, you know. Make him work around you. Work smarter, not harder.
Templeton does get a good jump, as you predicted. He runs kind of the middle, not necessarily the bottom. Jordan LaFawn in that 11 car. Anthony Marfulio might be the big loser on the restart. The 32 car falls back. I'm surprised, and I'm going to jinx us right here, Clayton. No one has gone off the top yet, which is typically a common issue here at Lernerville. Michael Vitale in P6, Jesse Ingram, Clay Christopherson in 7th and 8th. Donald Ingram giving it a go. Kurt Schatzer in that 18 car, driver out of Pennsylvania. He's moved up to P10, up 3 positions. Kelly Wheeler in the 11. Chris Cox in the 515 is up to P12. Randall Dixon in the 011 car is battling out with North Carolina driver and my teammate Brian Dickens in the Dirt Track Bank 122. Jake Henry in the 171 is back in 15th. Reed Sanders in P4. Anthony Marfulio trying to work his way back through the field. Justin Sick in P18. Paul Thompson in P19. And James Ingram rounds out your field of 20 drivers. Oh, we just had somebody go off the top. That is Jordan LaFawn. No caution. There it comes.
Dude, took a second to register. I clicked it when they made the contact.
Jordan LaFawn goes off the top rope. Or was it Templeton going off the top rope and collecting the 11 car? Let's take a look if I can find it.
Yeah, I've got the 31. 31 clears them off of 2, and it was a tight one. Jordan doesn't really get a chance to check up there, but he did have that back bumper past him, and it's a hard game to tell, you know, the last few seasons, but if that back bumper's in front of you, man, they're clear, whether it's tight or not. That one's going to be on the 11.
Here we go. You can see it on your screen. 31 slides up. Plenty, yeah. So move the 11 to the back of the field. Templeton holds his position in the 31 car. The 518 now of Joseph Grandy to his outside. 32 car of Anthony Morano. We're on lap 11 of 25. Pace truck is off. We're back underway. Templeton with a good start. Looks like the 32 car can't buy a starting position on the outside, which, if you're not the leader, is the place you need to be, I think, Clayton.
Yeah, a lot of guys have been running the bottom in the middle, kind of just back there in the pack, beating that dirt up a lot more than the top. Not many people have the confidence to go to the top just yet. We're coming up on halfway through the race next time by. Templeton's going to get up there at the right time, I think. Now it's just a matter of can Morano or Billy Roberts behind him figure out a way to get by them both. Slide jobs here are not easy. If you overshoot it, you're going for a ride.
Yeah, we got we got Kurt Schatzer and Chris Cox. They're following each other through the field. That's the 18 and the 515. Kurt Schatzer is currently up 6 positions, Clay, and we got somebody off the top of the track. That is the 11 car of Jordan LaFawn, I believe. On lap 14 of 25. So did I really mention that top ledge? Did I really say that out loud on a broadcast when everything was going good?
Yes, you did. But don't worry, I'll be sure to do it plenty this season, and we'll be rolling.
We're getting this track out of the way week number 1. Next week, we are right back here at Lernerville. We start off the night with 358 modifieds. We move into the pro late models, and we round out the night with the 360 sprint cars. All fixed setups. This starts our 15-week season next week. And then week 16, we run the Dirt Track Bank Dash for Cash, $1,000 on the line. There is about $450 up for grabs also in Quick Time Awards. Each driver that wins a Quick Time for each division each week gets $10 added to their pot, and we pay that out in week 16. So a lot of good things going on here at the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights. And their driver, Brandon Templeton, in the 31 machine, is leading the way in front of Joseph Grandy, P2. Billy Roberts over the top. Can he get back on the track? No. Excuse me. Billy Roberts off the top. There comes the caution. Working lap 16 up 25. We do have very limited spots available for drivers to join Friday Night Lights for the next 16 weeks. You can visit our Discord, find us on Facebook. That is Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights. Send me a message, and we'll see what we can do about getting you. We are going to close that off at some point to make sure that all drivers get to race. The Dash for Cash has specific rules. You must race in at least 10 of the 15 weeks to qualify for the Dash for Cash. So we're trying to limit the number of drivers that we allow to race for that big money at the end of the season. Also, haven't mentioned it yet since this is an official race, Tight Lines Apparel does sponsor the 358 Modifieds. We have Randy Carter Painting that's going to sponsor the Pro Late Models this year. We do have a sponsorship opportunity for the 360 Sprint cars. If you'd like your company name and logo on the screen throughout the broadcast for the next 16 weeks, or 15 weeks, I guess, let us know, and we'll let you know how to make that happen. We also have the Quick Time Awards that are open for sponsorship. So 358 Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and Sprint cars every week has the Quick Time Awards. So we do have sponsorships opportunities available. If you might be interested, again, please message us on Facebook at Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights, or you can email me, joe@gy6rn.com. So we're getting ready to go. Go ahead.
Quick shout out to one of our Facebook viewers, last year's champion in, I believe, 2 series. If not, I know at least late models with how much speed he had. Michael Carter looks like he's currently at Eldora. Wish you the best out there, Michael. Hope that 15's in victory lane by the end of tonight.
I can't believe he went to Eldora instead of coming out here and running in a testing tune.
How dare him.
Yeah, that's the CTM boys. Great addition, great members of our Friday Night Lights. Brandon Templeton with the restart on the bottom side. 518 gets a good start. Joseph Grandy runs right with him. The 32 car, the 213, the 777. We're 3 wide, we're 4 wide. Now Grandy gets back by the 31 car, a little bit of contact off of 4. It is Templeton back on the point. Joseph Grandy, Jesse Ingram in the 777, Morano falling back. Art Schatzer up 8 positions in that 18 car. Schatzer up to P5. Behind him. Let's take a look.
Looks like the 213 of Michael Vitale gets a little loose in the slick off a 2.
That is the 213 on the bottom side. You can see the 51 of Clay Christopherson kind of pinches the 515 there. And over the top they go. The 11 car gets contact. The 515 comes back on track, collects the 011 and the 171. So As you heard, a big melee off of turn number 2 on the restart.
It would not be Lernerville without a big pileup off of the backstretch ledge.
Isn't that the truth? Templeton chooses the top side this time. So that will put the 518 of Joseph Grandy on the bottom side, lap 18 of 25.
Does Templeton have a better shot to slide him into 1 if he can time this up?
Yeah, that's the question, right? Moving to that top side, what does that change? We're about to see. I think still Templeton with the advantage of the restart on the leader. I'm thinking he may still have the advantage.
Grandy got a decent jump. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough, though. We'll see.
Grandy
right
in the 518 on the bottom side. Not enough room to slide. He tries to pull up. He forces his way in front of the 32 car of Anthony Morano. Jesse Ingram now in that lucky 777 machine. He moves up to P5. Clay Christopherson has patiently worked his way through the field up 5 positions up to P4. Anthony Marfulio, Kurt Schatzer up P6. Randall Dixon in the 111, your biggest mover of the race. He's up 9 positions. We go triple wide here. Randall Dixon down the back straight. Up front, Brandon Templeton with a mirrorful of Joseph Grandy. Let's go on board with Brandon Templeton. Look out that gearbox and see what it looks like. Back to that 518. Will they ride until the last lap? Clayton, what are we looking at for the last 4 laps?
Oh, there is a slider bomb coming for sure. We've got Randall Dixon off of 3. Looks like he's going to keep it rolling possibly. Yeah, he toes back to pit road. Joseph Grandy's kind of eyeing him up right now. We're going to see, I would think on the last lap, maybe into 1. You don't want to wait till 3 because what if you lose your run off of 2? I think when we take the white flag into 1, Joseph's going to the bottom. And something tells me that Templeton knows, and Templeton's going to slide and run a slider line himself to block it. But we're coming to the white flag right now. We'll see.
The white flag is out. Templeton on the point. Pulls a little bit of gap in front of Grandy. Grandy may ride it out in P2. Will he wait until P3 to make a last lap pass? Templeton with the advantage. Grandy. Templeton, Grandy, Morano. Morano's going to slide down low. Will that give the advantage to Christopherson? No, sir. Top 3 start finish line, please. Top 3 start finish line. Templeton, Grandy, Morano, your top 3. Christopherson, Ingram round out the top 5. Schatzer up 7 positions in P6. Marfulio, Ingram, Wheeler, and Reed Sanders round out your top 10. I had one of these buttons set up for screenshot, so let's see if that worked. All right, fellas, don't forget to go up to Discord for your interviews, please. Get this set up here. Good race, Clayton. Thanks for coming out, my friend. I know we didn't have a lot of time to chat, but man, over the last year since we've been gone, your life, young man, has changed absolutely tremendously. Again, man, it's a pleasure to have you. I'm going to pull Anthony Morano up to the booth. Anthony Morano, this is Joe. You got me?
Hey, Joe. How's it going, bud?
Man, great race. Again, not for points, just coming out and getting back into the groove. How was the track? How's the new format? And what are you looking forward to this race season?
Track was good. I had a lot of bite in it. Always helps starting up towards the front, that's for sure. Definitely looking forward to the season. Miss racing with you guys. It's been a long summer away from you, but yeah, we should definitely have a good, fun, 3 months this season coming up.
Yeah, and you're the only car that I took it off of an exterior view of your car, and we actually have your wonderful wife, Sherry, on the screen right now. So, yeah, man, welcome back. It's good to be back in the booth. I got to tell you, my first year on a real racetrack was absolutely amazing. but Clayton and I have been talking back and forth over the past couple months probably, and man, it is good to be back in the booth. All the same familiar names. I will tell you this, in that 32 car, man, you have come a long way, my friend. So looking for you to battle for a championship this year. Thank you for coming out and join us. Really glad your dad John can come out and join us. Yeah, man, it's good to be back. And to you, welcome back, and we hope to see you every Friday night.
Yes, sir. I'll be here hoping to see what I can get championship wise out of it. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, give some shout outs on that car to your sponsors.
Uh, First and foremost, my wife Sherry, my teammates at Full Throttle Motorsports, DJ Sim Shop, Super Dirt Car Series, Swan Speed Shop, GripPack.com, and Hi Mom Lens.
Awesome, man. Welcome. Next week is for real. That's when we start our journey towards that $1,000 dash for cash. Man, welcome back. It's good to be back, and it's good to see a familiar face, and greatly appreciate you coming out and joining us.
All right, Joe. Thanks a lot, man.
Yes, sir.
Had fun.
Clayton, you catch up with Joseph Grandy.
Yes, sir. Gonna bring him up here real quick. Joseph Grandy, this is Clayton in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, how's it going, guys?
Hey man, what a way to come out for a test and tune night and put on a show like that. We saw you run the bottom, we saw you run the top. It seemed that 31 car was able to get to the bottom. Did you have any temptation to go down there those last few laps when we went back green and see if you could work something up and potentially get a slider for the lead there and come home with a P1?
Yeah, besides the last lap, I was on them pretty good. I was gonna throw it in 1 and 2, but I lost a little too much ground, so I decided to stick it out for second.
Yeah, not bad. I'm one spot off of a win. I picked you for the start. So
Right.
was hoping you would have brought it home, man, but you put on one heck of a show. Stayed up front all night long. Anybody you got to thank on that 518 ride tonight?
Absolutely. Catalytic recovery, West End Tone and Repair, all the guys over at Inferno Motorsports, 42 Graphics, my girlfriend Olivia. Appreciate you guys for doing the broadcast, and I'll catch you guys next race.
Yes, sir, man. Well, welcome back for another season. We're happy to have you and wish you the best this season.
Thanks, guys.
Caught up with Brandon Templeton in the 31 machine. Brandon, this is Joe. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Man, did you ever think when you and I met 3 years ago now, 4 years ago, don't know what it was, running official limited late models, and I sent you a message and said, hey, you ever thought about being on a team? And it was a team of 2 at the time, brother. Did you ever think it would go this far?
Not a clue, man. I wouldn't have ever dreamed it. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. Tonight's race was pretty fun. Just getting back into the gist of it, trying to get some laps under our belt and get used to all the rules and how we do things at Friday Night Lights. And to be honest, I forgot a lot, so I was asking a lot of questions in the race control. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty good night. I kind of wish I wouldn't have slid up right where I did on Jordan there at a few laps. We were having an awesome race, and I think he thought I was leaving him room, and I didn't quite get out to the very edge lip of the track, but just a tight deal. But sorry for that. But overall, it was a pretty fun race.
Yeah, man, you kept that 31 up front all night. I told the story while we were in the broadcast about Jay Burdick and the Dirt Track Bank. Those of you out there that don't know, and since this is a test and tune, that lead came from Brandon Templeton. He lives in Corning, Iowa, which is just east of Malvern, Iowa. Brandon said, "Hey, you need to call this guy," and they support local dirt tracks. So man, I got on the email and I actually had a phone call with Jay Burdick, and that relationship, Brandon, thanks to you, has been absolutely amazing. I told the story that you caught up with him at Corning, Iowa, not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, I guess, and thank Jay Burdick in person for all that he has done for Friday Night Lights, man. So, my brother, all of this is as much your responsibility as it is mine of what we created, man. I greatly appreciate the friendship. Great run in that 31 machine. This was a test and tune. Next week, we do it for real, man. Who do you want to shout out on that 31 machine?
I got to thank you, Joe, mainly, getting me into this. And thanks for all the kind words. You've been an awesome leader through all this and, created all this really from there was really nothing when we started all this. We found coast to coast and blossomed out of there. So it's just a cool deal. But got to thank Jay with Dirt Track Bank, pumping into this deal. This is, he's what's keeping it running, paying for the software and the subscriptions and all that. So hats off to him for chipping in and letting us have a cool place to race and represent him well, hopefully. Got your Six Racing Network, happy to have you back. It was really cool to see the notification on my phone from YouTube that you were going live. So brought back good feelings. Hammer Down Racing, Joe, Kurt, and Brian, hopefully those guys are a little bit of computer issues, but they'll get through it, figure it out, and they'll be back at the top. Got to thank Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care. Thanks, Clayton, for doing the adminning and everyone that helps out at home. Thanks.
Yeah, man, great run. Have a great weekend. Probably hear from you here probably tonight or tomorrow morning on Discord, my brother. Great run in that 31 machine. Great test and tune, and hopefully we see you next week, my brother.
Yep, Joe, good to be back. Thanks.
All right, man. Clayton, there you have it. There is the test and tune. It looks like all of the computer software worked just as we left it back in, I believe, March. These guys out on the track, man, I've watched a lot of races, been in a lot of races at Lernerville, and we had a couple of issues. I think we had 3 cautions. You know better than I. That is the quality of the drivers we have in Friday Night Lights, man. They were 3 wide, numerous rows back. Welcome back to the booth, my brother. What a great way to kick it off. You have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Just a few here. You can definitely tell, we may have been away busy with this and that, but you can tell these guys have been grinding. I mean, they came out in Lernerville, slick, and this is if there's a race out there that's going to test, race control calls, and I learn every day. Every time I get on here and click the button for a league or whatever it may be, I'm always trying to improve myself and trying to, I don't want to mess up this guy's race. I don't want to mess up that guy's race. But at the end of the day, it's what I'm paid to do, and it's what I'm here for, and here to help build the league and watch, some incredible racing up here in the booth with you. But those guys, man, they went out there 3 wide. I saw 4 wide off of 4. I thought for sure I was going to be clicking the button for a yellow 5 to 10 times. Just not that nobody has any talent. These guys are super talented. I just thought there was going to be, some rust to knock off, and these guys made sure it was all knocked off before they joined the session. Props to every driver that was out there tonight. They put on one heck of a show. I can't thank them enough, and thank you enough for the opportunity, and most importantly, I can't wait for next Friday.
Yeah, man, we're going to get back to it again. We run 358 modifieds, followed up by the Pro Late models, and we close out the night with the 360 sprint cars. Moving up to the 360 sprint cars was a bit of a stretch, Clayton. What are you looking for? You think we're going to have problems out of the 360 moving up from the 305s?
No, absolutely not. I think that is one of the best decisions that any admin, owner, anybody that had a say, including drivers, drivers made the vote. The drivers chose well when it comes to 360 sprints. Those 305s, man, they put on some fun racing. Don't get me wrong on a small track, but when you go to Eldora or Charlotte or Knoxville, that 305, when you take the green flag, it's just got such like a go-kart feel when you start. It's very follow the leader type of racing, and that 360, the 410, I'm the same way with late models. The limited, I want to sleep when I drive it. The super, I have zero talent to drive, but that pro late model is pristine. I have fallen in love with it since the dirt update, and the 360 sprint car is the same. I can't drive the 410 to save my life, but I want to sleep with the 305. That 360 sprint car is going to put on some of the best racing, no doubt. And the fact that the drivers have to compete in, I believe there's only 2 you can miss or something of all the series during the season. These guys are going to fill that room just as much as the 358s and the pro late models. Those sprint cars are very easy to slide for a position. They're very easy to cut back underneath for a position. We're going to see a lot of dicey racing when we get to the sprint cars, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, man. So we've kind of evolved, and hopefully this is the sweet spot with the 358s, the pro late models, and the 360 sprints. Clayton, thank you very much for joining me. It looks like everything worked okay. Next week, my brother, we're back at it. We're making that journey towards $1,000 dash for cash. thanks to the Dirt Track Bank. If you're out there watching, you get the opportunity, you have a way to reach out to the Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank in Malvern, Iowa. Send them a message, man, and thank them for all that they have done for this. Again, we're not a high budget. We don't have bells and whistles on our homepage. This is designed like any other race night in America. So shout out those folks and let them know you appreciate what they've done for us. Clayton, until next week, ladies and gentlemen, until next week, we will adjourn and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people would have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
You know, Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. You know, we brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
You know, on this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. You know, this hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, you know, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, you know, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get the treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it. What we've done is taken 20 different veterans with their families' permission and used them as a silhouette to cut out of a 3,000-pound plate of steel. These warriors are placed in a V, and this is to show the size of the problem. This is to show the empty space they leave behind. And it's also to be a constant reminder of what happens when we don't listen to the stories of the warriors that fought in our name. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that everyone didn't know about veteran suicide. It's not okay that these things were a secret or left unsaid, or that it was shameful. It's not okay that it's shameful to suffer alone and suffer in silence, because if you ask for help, that you're no longer a warrior, that you're weak.
Yeah. So I come back and I thought everybody else changed. So I pushed my family away. And it took a long time to really realize it because I didn't want to look internally. You know, I got my Class A CDL and hit the road. I was on the road for about 8 years trucking. And this makes me think about how insignificant all of the major things going on are. I mean, what, 1 million years ago, that blew up. And, you know, over time became this.
Whether it's hiking mountains or building monuments, it takes a community to heal a warrior. Warriors didn't get damaged and didn't become separated from the sunlight of the spirit on their own. It happened in the name of this nation. We can change the way we think about war, how we think about warriors, how we think about ourselves, and what we think we're going to do in the American community. We can do it now. We can do it here. And there's going to be another generation of warriors coming. We can set the tone to create a culture that grabs them up and loves them and smothers them in resources and opportunity right now. History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people who have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
Yeah, Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. You know, we brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
You know, on this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. You know, this hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, you know, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, you know, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get the treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of